You worked for the McCartneys in the 80s, Sir Paul and his late wife Linda, and I believe that's where you developed your appreciation for fine arts. But it wasn't until later in life that you actually started creating your own work. What led to that transition?
Okay, so working for Paul and Linda, I was young, and it was just seeing these incredible works of art just coming into the building, and me being able to just look at these things just with this mind that was so enthralled by what you can do with certain things like paper, you know, and canvases, colours, medias. And I was young, and I just felt this, once again, it's just an energy. And I would always look forward to the Sotheby's van or the Christie's van turning up, you know, throughout the week, and just delivering these works of art that would sit in the kind of foyer of the reception. And I would just like be, you know, just watching them and watching them. It was something that I suppose I didn't realize would revisit me years, decades later. So, basically what happened was I'm a singer, vocal coach, and I've been vocal coaching for like 26, 27 years. Unfortunately, about 5 years ago, I was more than 5, maybe about 10 years ago, I started to get ill, and I couldn't put my finger on it. Doctors couldn't find out what it was. They said I was fit as a fiddle. I said I can't be, because there's huge issues that's going on in my body. So 5 years ago, I came to England, and they tested me again, found nothing. Went to the dentist 2 days before I was going back to America, just to have a dental appointment. And she looked in my mouth and she asked me some questions. And I said, when you get back to America, get tested for autoimmune disease, Sjogren's or Hashimoto's only, and get them to do a full profile of your thyroid, not the 3 biomarkers, but the 8. And she was right. And I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's. And the problem is, it was so far gone that it's kind of destroyed my thyroid and, you know, my voice box. So, and, you know, me and my husband, like, I was saying, Brian, it's really, really weird. I can't seem to sing as well and talk as well. You know, even speaking sometimes is a challenge. So I was devastated. Absolutely. It was like, I can't, all my life since having the cognizance of a 3 or 4 year old, all I've done is sing at the top of my lungs, dance around, and I'm still the same. But all of a sudden, I didn't have this passion. I didn't have this love, and I was lost, absolutely, incredibly lost. Didn't know what to do. And, you know, my husband was like, Audrey, you need to find something else. And I said, what else is there? What else is there? Singing's my life. And then we went on the cruise, and that was it. I said, Brian, I love this. I love this. I love this. He said, do it. I said, what do you mean do it? He said, do it. Just be you. I said, I don't know anything about art. He just said, just have fun. So we got back to Atlanta, and he told me to order whatever acrylics and canvases and paints and turn the spare bedroom into my art room. And that was my journey.
What's the purpose or goal of your work?
I want them to feel the same way I felt about seeing that Peter Max. I want them not just to say, oh, this is technically a great piece of art, and, you know, the colours are vibrant. That wasn't it. There was a connection when I felt those arts, you know, those artworks. And, you know, like I said, you know, my husband was kind of like, wow, she's really, you know, this is like from being in a very potentially sad place, you know, losing the thing that I'd lived for and loved. And, you know, he'd just seen a sudden spark. And, you know, through his encouragement and love and seeing what makes me work, what makes me tick and makes me Audrey again. And that's what I want for my art. I want people to see that first, see an energy first and say, oh, I love that. I feel.
You're also a talented photographer, and you use hybridization in some of your pieces. What drew you to this particular technique?
I do a lot of headshots. And my models are normally my friends or people, my students, my vocal students. And a lot of them are really shy and they begin the process, you know, the photographic kind of headshots. But because I get them to do crazy antics and, you know, and Brian and I are really kind of up and bubbly, we get some incredible kind of emotional, happy, just humanistic headshots. So there's my headshots. Then I do my art and then I marry them together. And when Brian and I, you know, Brian's amazing at Photoshop, we'll sit down and we'll get those images in and we can actually select the image that matches that personality. We have, I think we've got about 25 of these hybridizations where we've digitally manipulated the pieces of art. So in one piece of art, we can have 5 to 7 different versions with that art, whereas it's moved along, the photography, maybe skewed to the left, skewed to the right, transverse, and also colorization. We can actually transform the colors. So we can keep going. So a lot of what you see downstairs, there are another 5 or 6 versions. So you'll see it will say, creating me number 1 or number 7 or number 10, because they're all the same photo, but it's been used differently. And we've done different techniques with the actual photography.
You also like textures and bright colors. Does that carry a special message?
Yeah, I love reds and this color here. It's very strange. Whenever I've done a piece and I say, oh, Brian, come and have a look. He'll say, I love what you've done with that teal. Oh, I love that. And that red really makes it pop. So those are my go-tos. So, and I try to mix up the acrylic and put some medium in it so you get a really thick, luscious impasto kind of, you know, texture. So, and a lot of times what I'll do is I will put that acrylic onto a tissue. So I'll just put acrylic on tissues and use that tissue, put water on the back of the tissues so that it becomes literally just a band of acrylic, and that will be applied. So I try to use, you know, collage paper. If I saw something that looks attractive, I'll be tearing that bad boy up and and sticking it on. That works. And then, you know, so I use lots of different techniques.
Which art trends, if any, inspire your current work?
Oh my gosh. It's every art trend, because I don't know if I've ever got to a point, or if I'll ever get to a point where I feel that, I want to emulate, I want to more be in the guise of this particular artist or this particular genre of where the art is moving or has moved. It's difficult. It's really difficult because it's a very strange thing to say. I don't know who I am yet. And I'm excited because I don't know who I am. Because I think if I started to channel myself into this is who I am, this is what I do, I feel that I might miss out on another part of who I might become.
Has your style changed over time?
Yes, definitely. There was a point when I started off, I didn't know who I was, and you know, I'd be in my room and I'd go downstairs and Brian would say, "What's wrong?" I'd say, I don't know. And he said, "Just go upstairs and play. What's wrong with you? Just play." And so there was a point where I did become disillusioned. I did think, this is crazy. I'm absolutely rubbish at this. And but he encouraged me constantly. And then I got past it. And once I got past it, it was just like, you know, all steam ahead, you know, and the wonderful thing is I'm still in that kind of, journey where I'm not afraid anymore just to try. And I think there's a lot of fear. And it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be a fearful journey, because this is a gift. And if you're given these gifts, you don't have to worry about anything, because it's a gift. It's given to you. It's for free.
What words of wisdom would you share with young, aspiring and even more seasoned individuals who are aspiring artists?
Enjoy the ride. Love what you're doing. Keep everything in the creator's hands, because as it is, create. We can't create without that spiritual energy, and a feeling of appreciation and humility.
What's next for Audrey Beharie-McGee?
Oh, I don't know. I will continue creating. I want to be able to put my work in different galleries, hopefully across the world. Brian and I were talking about the possibility of like taking a trip to Dubai and just taking a few pieces and hopefully finding a gallery that might be interested in just having, one piece or two pieces. That's what I would like. I would love, I tell you what, I've always said this to Brian, I would love for like maybe a small hotel chain to say, Audrey, we would love for you to design the artwork for our lounge or our dinner or our executive rooms or whatever. That would be a dream.
Oh, wow. Fingers crossed.
Yes.
You never know.
Definitely.
Oh.